Hey there guys, Crystal here. So, we've all been scared by stuff before as kids, right? Like even really stupid stuff? Because I know I was. I was an extremely sensitive kid to the point of being scared of a gargling toilet. You think I'm joking? No, seriously, there was an ad on TV when I was about 3 for a toilet cleaner, and this ad featured this talking, gargling toilet. I don't remember any of this, but according to my mum, whenever this ad came on, I would just panic and run out of the room. Too scary for little Crystal. Back on topic though, games aren't always super happy, friendly places, especially to a kid. Even if the game is supposed to be child-friendly, it might still contain something that is viewed differently in the eyes of a child. So today, I'm bringing you my top 10 things that scared me as a child in video games. Pikmin. I've only ever played this game a handful of times, and I haven't touched any of the other entries into the series. And this is why. The monster itself isn't scary. It's basically a brightly colored blob. It's what this monster does that makes it scary. It eats Pikmin. Okay, so that isn't scary at all, but as a child this horrified me. I like the cute little Pikmin and they work so hard for me, so to see them get gobbled up was truly horrific. Anybody, and I do mean anybody who has spoken with me for more than 5 minutes, will know that I love animals. I've been with animals all my life, and I can't imagine life without at least one pet at home. So, of course, I fucking love the Harvest Moon series. Cute animals to take care of, cute bachelors to marry, and a cute farm to take care of. I've been playing these games for years. While today the games are more of a relaxing experience, when I was younger I was really bad at them. Or more likely, I was terrible at money and time management. It would always go something like this: buy a chicken, buy other stuff, and then run out of chicken food. And then finally watch helplessly as chicken died because I couldn't afford to feed it. The scene that occurred in Friends of Mineral Town on the Game Boy Advance is possibly the most heartbreaking and upsetting for me as a child. And it scared me knowing that not only did I kill this animal, but the guy who sold them to me was pissed off at me. This is gonna be a more obscure entry on this list, and if anybody watching this has played it, I applaud you. This game both fascinated me and weirded me out as a kid. My best friend growing up got a PS2 one year, and this was one of the games she had. For the most part, we took turns playing these games, but for this one, I never asked for a turn. Ever. Something about it unnerved me. I don't know if it was the graphics or the characters, but something didn't sit right with me. And yet I wasn't completely horrified. In fact, I enjoyed watching my friend play it. I bought my own copy not that long ago, and after playing it, I can say that it doesn't freak me out anymore, and I quite enjoyed it. I guess I'll never remember exactly what weirded me out about it. I'm not really a sports person, but for whatever reason, I went through a phase of loving the shit out of the SSX game. For those of you who aren't familiar, SSX is a snowboarding simulation game, where you race down tracks against other riders. You can perform tricks, and it's generally a good time. Again, this was a title that my friend owned first, and for this one I can safely say I wasn't the only scared one. This little scare happened right in the opening cinematic with this guy. This creepy, bald, laughing man. I think it was more not knowing that scared us with this guy, because we never even tried to play as him, so we had no clue who this creep was. Everything else in the cinematic is normal, or as normal as early PS2 graphics can be, so why did he have to be so creepy? To this day, I actually don't know who this creep is. This game is broken or something because both my copy that I still have to this day and my friend's old copy would always judder and lock up randomly, making playing the game stupidly hard. I guess he will always remain a mystery to me. The Sims. I would be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't know The Sims. I'd be even harder pressed to find someone who didn't play it as a child and accidentally murder their Sim. My first Sims game was The Sims 1 on the GameCube, and as most players do, I told my Sim to make something to eat, using the stove, with no cooking experience. Yeah, you know where this is going. Boom, house fire. That's where this guy comes in. The Grim Reaper scared the shit out of me for obvious reasons as a child, Why was he here? Why was he walking towards my house? How did he get in? What is he doing to my sim? Truly a defining moment of my childhood. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is a gorgeous Zelda game and probably my favorite out of the ones I've played. Way back before the Wii U HD remake, I got this game on the GameCube for my birthday. And after finally getting past the stupid platforming section, anybody who watches my stuff knows how much I love platforming, I finally made it to the Forsaken Fortress, and this is where it all began. These guys. Playing through this game as an adult, I could easily get past them. As a child, well, I don't think I really understood the concept of sneaking. These guys, upon spotting you, will go charging towards you, making loud noises, and then your controller will start shaking, and then finally, they'll throw you in a jail cell. This scared the shit out of me as a kid. Maybe it was the tension, or maybe it was the loud noise, but because of this, the Forsaken Fortress was the farthest I got in Wind Waker for a really long time. I loved Harry Potter as a kid. I still love Harry Potter now. So it makes sense that my mum bought me the very first Harry Potter PC game. This game, I didn't love that much. Right off the bat, a single screen scared me. This one. Maybe it was the dark atmosphere, maybe it was the sounds, I don't know. Once I got past that screen, I found the game quite fun though. Until this section. A platforming section, surprise surprise. In Professor Quirrell's class, Harry learns the Flipendo spell, which is used to knock things back or over. Using this spell, you have to get through this area, which contains platforming. Joy. Maybe it was that my computer control skills weren't good enough yet, that I kept failing this challenge, or maybe it was Quirrell fucking laughing like a lunatic in the background. But I couldn't do it, and it scared the shit out of me. Luigis Mansion is one of my favorite Nintendo titles of all time, and yet this wasn't always the case. I used to be too scared to play it. Looking back today, I can't really believe it myself either. It's not that scary and the visuals are cartoonish at best. I always got up to a certain part before I stopped. For anyone who has never played Luigis Mansion, let me introduce you to Chauncey. Yes, a baby ghost. First off, I could never beat his boss battle, and secondly, he's just generally freaky. But those aren't the reasons why I was so scared of him. I believe it to be something more deeply psychological. Think about it. He's a baby, who is also a ghost. And following that logic, Chauncey must have somehow died to become a ghost. A baby dying must not have sat right with me, and to be honest, it still doesn't to this day. Alright, so I know this list is supposed to be things that scared me as a child in video games, and some of you might not consider this to be a game. Well, my answer to that is to get out, make your own list, because this is mine. I played a lot on Neopets as a child, and I distinctly remember the day I found this little horror. I was clicking around in a land called Tyrania, when I stumbled upon this cave. Venturing in, I was curious if there was anything at the end, so I continued to click, and then this happened. Yeah, should be obvious why this scared me. Way to be a troll, Neopets. And finally, the number one thing that scared me as a kid? Motherfucking Resetti. As a child, I didn't have a console to call my own until I turned 9 and got my GameCube. So I didn't understand the concept of memory cards quite yet. Adding on to that, I was used to games like Pokemon, where in order to save, you hit the start button and then selected save. Animal Crossing didn't do this. In order to save, you would talk to your gyroid outside your house. I didn't seem to get that memo because I would always just turn off my GameCube without saving. That prompted Resetti to appear. And man, did he ever make an entrance. Every time you don't save, Resetti gets worse. From a mild warning, to repeating his phrases, to turning off your game, well, not really, and to emptying your inventory and wallet. Eventually, I did learn how to save properly, but to this day, I'm scared by that experience. I always save in Animal Crossing, and have a habit of double saving in other games like Pokemon or Harvest Moon. While he did scare me as a child, he sure did instill some good saving practices in me. So, that was my list. What scared you in video games as a child? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always guys, if you like what you saw here today, then why not leave a like, comment, or maybe even subscribe. This has been Simply Press Start, where gaming is as simple as pressing start.